In the quiet heart of medieval England, in a small Suffolk village called Woolpit, an event took place that has haunted folklore for centuries. It is a story passed down through chronicles and whispers, one that straddles the line between history and myth. Some call it a legend, others insist it is truth, and still others say it lies somewhere in between. It is the story of the Green Children of Woolpit, two mysterious siblings who appeared one day as if from another world, their skin tinted green, their language unknown, their origins unexplained. The year was sometime in the 12th century, during the reign of either King Stephen or King Henry II. England was a land of turmoil. Civil wars, famine, and superstition shaped everyday life. For peasants, existence was hard, and for nobles, it was dangerous. It was a time when the line between natural and supernatural was blurred, when stories of saints, miracles, demons, and monsters lived alongside the reality of hunger and hardship. Woolpit itself was a modest farming village, its name derived from wolf pits, deep traps dug to capture the last of England's wolves. One day, as the villagers went about their labor in the fields, they discovered something strange near one of these pits. Two children, a boy and a girl, were found standing there, bewildered, frightened, and utterly foreign. They were unlike any children the villagers had ever seen. Their clothing was made of an odd, unfamiliar material. They spoke in a language no one could understand, a tongue that seemed alien to English ears, and most startling of all, their skin was green, not pale, not sickly, but truly green, like the shade of spring leaves or unripe fruit. At first, the villagers recoiled in fear. Were these children demons? Spirits? But their wide eyes, their trembling forms, their clear desperation suggested otherwise. They were children, lost, hungry, and in need. The two were taken into the care of a local landowner, Sir Richard de Colne, who tried to feed them. Yet they refused all the food offered, bread, meat, even fruit. Days passed and still they would not eat. Finally, someone brought them raw beans, freshly pulled from their stalks. The children eagerly devoured them, desperate and ravenous. For a time, beans were all they would eat. Slowly, the children began to adapt. Over weeks and months, they learned to eat other foods, and as they did, their green skin began to fade, becoming more like that of ordinary humans. But their mystery only deepened. The boy sadly grew weak, whether from the stress of their strange arrival, the trauma of their journey, or some lingering illness. He sickened and eventually died. The girl, however, survived. She grew stronger, learned to speak English, and in time shared fragments of her story. She said that she and her brother had come from a land where everything was green. The people, the animals, the very sky above, all were cast in a perpetual green twilight. This land, she claimed, was called St. Martin's Land, after a saint revered by its inhabitants. There was no sun there as in England, only a dim twilight glow. Life was different, strange, otherworldly. The girl explained that she and her brother had been tending their father's flocks when they heard a great sound, like the ringing of bells. Entranced, they followed the sound, wandering further than they should have. Somehow they entered a passage, a cave or tunnel, and when they emerged, they found themselves in Woolpit, surrounded by blinding sunlight, unable to understand the people around them. Her words raised more questions than they answered. Where was this St. Martin's Land? Was it hidden underground in caverns deep beneath the earth? Was it another dimension, a parallel world brushing up against our own? Or was it, as some skeptics claimed, simply a fable woven from fragments of truth and imagination? In time, the girl adapted fully to English life. She was baptized, grew to adulthood, and eventually married, living out her years as an ordinary woman. But the shadow of her origins never left her. The villagers of Woolpit never forgot the Green Children, nor did the chroniclers of the age. Two medieval writers, William of Newburgh and Ralph of Coggeshall, both recorded the story, preserving it for future generations. William, a historian, admitted the tale was strange but insisted it had been told truthfully. Ralph, an abbot, added his own details, emphasizing the children's refusal of normal food and their eventual adaptation. Between them, the story was cemented in history, not merely rumor. And yet, the mystery endures. Scholars, historians, and folklorists have debated the story for centuries. Some suggest the children were Flemish immigrants, perhaps orphaned during conflicts, speaking a foreign tongue and suffering from chlorosis, a form of iron deficiency that can tint skin green. Others argue they were lost wanderers, malnourished, traumatized, their story exaggerated over time into legend. But even these rational explanations fail to account for everything. The children's strange clothing, their refusal to eat anything but beans, their tale of a twilight world, and above all, their sudden, inexplicable appearance near Woolpit. Was it a folk tale, crafted to explain the presence of mysterious strangers? Was it a parable, a lesson dressed as history? Or was it, as some dreamers whisper, evidence of something far more extraordinary? That the children had come from another realm, a hidden world just beyond our own, glimpsed only once and never again. The legend of the Green Children of Woolpit endures not because it is solved, but because it is unsolvable. It is a story that exists in the space between fact and myth, between history and the supernatural. Like the faint memory of a dream upon waking, it refuses to fully explain itself, leaving only wonder, doubt, and unease. To this day, Woolpit remembers the children. The pits where they were found are gone, filled in long ago, but the village still whispers their name. Travelers still seek the place where two children with green skin stepped into our world, or perhaps fell out of their own. And in the end, the story leaves us with a question more chilling than any answer. If the Green Children truly came from another world, how many other hidden lands lie just beyond our sight? How many doors might open for only a moment, spilling their secrets into ours before closing forever? The story of the Green Children of Woolpit is not just a medieval legend. It is a reminder that the world is stranger than we think, that the borders of reality are not always as solid as they seem, and that sometimes, when the light is dim and the air is quiet, the impossible walks among us. If you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Legends of the Dark, and ring the bell so you never miss another tale from the edge of history and horror.